Can't tell if being the black dude is helping me play better or not. I unlocked him and I don't know if he does anything. You'll put a mine on your right. Immediately killed somebody, okay.
Hey guys, it's Merrick, and as some of the more perceptive of you may have noticed, I have something slightly different today. xDefiant came out a little while ago, and I've been playing a fair amount of it. This video is from the very beginning of the game coming out, but it is a very different game from PlanetSide, so I'm going to try to do a gameplay commentary of sorts. We're going to be doing things a fair bit different. That means, for those of you that have not already skipped directly to the gameplay, it is more important than ever that you guys give me feedback on what you think about these videos and their formatting, because I don't exactly know how this is going to play out, and it's going to be shaped in a large part by what you guys like, what you guys think works, and what you guys want to see. I'll also try to save my opinion for a slightly different video, so let's just move into the game and the loadout. We get matched into an escort on Times Square, so I decide to run Phantom. Phantom is the slightly more durable class in the game, and I take the Barrier ability. That allows me to throw down a shield, which is very nice for if I need to fight multiple people at once, and it really helps with doing objective-based modes where you need to hold or push an area. I've already developed a disgust for SMGs in this game, so I've decided to stick to mostly ARs as much as I can. I'm using one of the better ARs in the game, although at the time I didn't know it, and I'm using the ACR. Because this is so early in the, well, leveling, and based on how much XP you put into a weapon is how much things you have unlocked, I have the very basic unlocks for each slot, which at the moment limits me to the recon barrel, the super light forward grip, the heavy grip tape on the back hand grip, and the padded stock. And obviously an optic, because that does take a slot in this game. I did play the beta. This was my first time trying the game post-release, and I'm playing with friends, which I will try to do as much as I can. They say some really interesting things sometimes.
I can't tell if being the black dude is helping me play better or not. I unlocked him and I don't know if he does anything.
I think they're just skins. Because this is the
That's
second level Phantom.
Fucking lame.
Because this is the second level Phantom, and she just looks cooler than... She looks about as cool as the first guy, but she's also a chick, so she looks cooler. But they're just skins.
That's so fucking lame.
I don't think there's any... I think they're just skins. At the time of recording, the game was freshly released, but that doesn't mean that we can't take a look at it and try to critique some gameplay and improve from there. But there's still going to be highlights and memes. I'm gonna let you know right now, if this is a good map for me, like if I pop off like a together game, this is gonna be my YouTube video for Saturday, and that line's gonna be my intro. I'm playing the black, I don't know if it's helping me do any better. That's gonna be the intro, right there.
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe when I die, he pulls the race card on them.
I mean, that's what I thought, yeah.
They're not allowed to kill me again.
Escort is exactly what it sounds like. They have to deliver a payload, and we have to stop them. All spawns in the game have a spawn shield that they can shoot out of, but you cannot shoot into, to give them a little bit of space to work with, but we still try to find a decent setup spot to deny as much area as we can.
Oh, yes, the teammate.
I like this truck because it's a very forward, aggressive spot, but if they hold the left coming out of their spawn, which is easy right for us, then they wind up coming out of the theater behind us, and just like that, they run up behind you with a shotgun. You could either hold back farther, or you could keep a more astute eye on the kill feed and minimap to make sure that you are not getting flanked, but just because there's nobody in the minimap doesn't mean that you aren't getting flanked, it just means nobody's encountered that person yet. Also, this is something that's easy to see and easy to note, but not so easy to have pan out in your games, especially not public games. Because this is a team-based mode where they're trying to work on pushing an objective, getting staggered from your team or dying at off times can really make it harder to defend. You're never going to get people organized like that in a public game, but it is always something to keep in mind. I noticed one of my big problems with this game was I just kept running in trying to push into a fight, and I would get flanked and outnumbered because I was disjointed from my team and was not exactly able to cover every angle by myself. I push back up here with just one guy, and I see that they don't exactly have a lot of people on point, but I know they're going to be respawning forward because they just got the checkpoint. So I take a side flank and try to get them off guard. I managed to catch two off guard, but then this is my first introduction to the fact that there is no jumping inaccuracy in Defiant. So the current meta, and hopefully by the time this video comes out, it will no longer be the case, is just to jump around while you fire perfectly accurately with all guns, including sniper rifles. I have inherited into my play the dash slide jump to peek around corners faster and get a more aggressive peek, but I do my best not to jump a million times in the middle of fighting because it really goes against everything that I've ever learned in shooters, and it looks fucking stupid.
Oh my god, you can't.
while I was bringing you guys up to speed on some of the mechanics of the game, I did manage to push up into an actually alright position, but I never put down my shield. So as soon as somebody uses an ability that would generally push me out of the area, I just fucking die for free. I couldn't rotate back from where I was at, and because I didn't put the shield up, I couldn't continue to hold my position. Basically, I just had a brain fart, and there's really no reason to put the shield down, whether I'm going to continue to stay and fight, or going to rotate back to try to find a better area. But pushing up the next time, I did manage to put the shield down. I picked 2 people off on point, and I didn't even realize that Sage was pushing up the side, and he got the kill on that guy in front of me. So I just kind of stared into the wall, expecting that this guy was in some kind of cubby that I didn't know about, because I don't know the map yet. I heard this guy's shield above me, so I went to go chase him, but as soon as I push up, the shield goes down, which does trigger me to continue pushing around the side, because he's not going to expect anybody to push up, and because the shield's gone, he's not going to be peeking. I tried to get an engagement with the 2 people that I ran into, but I saw the red nade indicator, which I assumed meant the nade was going to explode right then. It actually just means that I'm in range to take damage from the nade, so I dance around waiting for the indicator to go away. Once I do finally push down, I manage to whiff a bunch of shots, and don't actually get anything, but I do manage to get out with my life. So I back up, get to a more defensible position down by the container, and decide to catch them as they try to cross. Because of the fast-paced nature of the game, as soon as I stand still for 0.5 seconds and I don't see somebody to shoot at, I decide that I should probably push up aggressively. Which, I mean, can work out, but in this case, it doesn't. Why is there a guy behind me?
Behind you, yeah.
Because I'm an idiot, and I forgot that that whole area that I just jumped down from is behind me, and they could just jump down from behind there too. I was so used to pushing through the main route, which follows the payload, that I just kind of pushed up and got mad about getting flanked. Like I said, a lot of my deaths this game so far were because I pushed up aggressively and just got flanked.
Why is there a guy behind me again? What is this?
I still haven't realized that I have to stop pushing like an actual ape and decide to actually defend the point in my defensive game mode, so I'm just going to let you watch me slowly come to terms with this realization.
You just stand still to shoot.
I don't know if that's the case.
I don't know, I was crouching there and it improved.
How is there a guy behind me? What is this?
Dropping up rocks.
How are they all behind it?
My everything is exploding. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna wait here.
No matter where I'm looking, they're behind me. I don't understand. Finally, my 2 brain cells have clicked and realized that, hey, maybe if I'm supposed to be defending a point, I should be defending the point and negotiating with people coming along the flanks, rather than trying to push into the enemy's area. Especially when there's no way to actually take area from them.
I'm gonna play like a real pussy way the fuck back here. Maybe I can stop them from flanking.
I mean, it seems like what we have to do, honestly, is play fucking flank control.
Having expertly crafted a new plan on the fly, which is simply just don't push up and watch the flanks, my friend decides to drop a mine, and well, look at that, I'm immediately fucking just murdering people now that I'm not pushed up.
You'll put a mine on your right. Immediately killed somebody, okay.
The sniper.
So it would be very easy for me to say that this is working out so well because the enemy team is scattered. And while them being scattered was part of the reason that they were able to flank so effectively, it's also worth mentioning that this recording is from the release day of the game. This is from the starter playlist, and this is a public match. So the fact that they are scattered is not so much throwing shade at them and saying, wow, they should be playing better. It's just an observation about why flanking was working so well for them, and now why us defensively holding this position and watching for the flanks is working so well. Because they are scattered, they are kind of just trickling into us, and we're dealing with them one at a time. So even if we weren't winning the fights more often than not in a one-on-one, we would have 2 to 3 people here holding the capture point. That way we'd be able to actually successfully trade 1-for-1 and still keep a numbers advantage while making sure that we keep up with the trade, even if they do all right. I was so busy shooting people and bullshitting and talking shit back and forth to Sage, I didn't realize I was out of ammo. So I panicked and grabbed the nearest gun before I realized we're playing Escort. In Escort, if you didn't know, you can actually run up to the escort point and grab ammo. Doesn't matter if you're the attacking or defending team, it'll provide ammo to everybody. It's a good dot.
Yeah, there's another mine on your right, but I think they're just going to keep coming out the left.
I continue holding on the truck here because I can cover pretty much both of the flanks and respond to anybody on my team that I see die, while also having a straight view onto anybody pushing up the middle. So I'm going to let you listen to me and Sage bullshit for a little bit, because for a little bit there's not a whole lot to call out.
My shield. I want to know what ability that is. That seems very good. Is that dead sec, I guess?
EMP grenade. No, it's an EMP grenade.
Oh, there's an EMP grenade. Okay.
Yeah.
That seems pretty good.
It is really good, actually. Flashbang is also really strong. Mine just went down.
Yeah, there's a dead infill over there.
One guy on the left, right on Kaze.
You got
I
it?
don't know if they're good.
Or the random got it, looks like. Hey, you're just playing. Cannot let them flank me. And I just haven't died since, actually.
Has a lock on your position. The package is heading in the right direction. Backwards.
He fucking one-tapped me!
Sonar goggle, yeah.
What the fuck? Dude, is that a controller player? I
That
can't
guy
even check.
fucking owned us.
Bro, I don't know about you. I got immediately headshot first bullet.
I didn't understand how the
Yeah,
Echelon ability worked at this point in my career in xDefiant. I would like to let everybody know that the Echelon pistol does 120 damage
sniped me
up to
and
10
then
meters, and
sprinted
then
out
beyond that it
Google
does 90.
Crouch, got
You
Kaze.
gain wall hacks where you can see everybody in a red outline through the wall, and he just flew around the corner and hit a good shot because he knew where I was going to be. I didn't understand the whole way the ability worked, and I just realized that I fucking died instantly and was crazy surprised by
I
it.
thought I was gonna die
But
instantly, so I went
that
for hip
push
fire,
was
and then he
amazing
whipped,
because it cleared
and I
out
could have
me,
actually murdered him if I
Sage,
just didn't go
and
for the hip fire.
I'm pretty sure it disrupted Kaze as well, and therefore their team was able to suddenly push past that super thick defense we had going on there. And now we're on the home stretch in absolute panic mode. The game had been going pretty straightforward up until this point, but if you did notice that scope glint in the distance, that also means they have snipers. The TAC 50 sniper will one-shot even the extra health of the Phantom to chest and above, and the smaller M44 sniper will need to hit me in the shoulders or above. But both of them will one-tap to not a headshot, given the right situation. If you are not the Phantom and you have less than the 120 health, you have the regular 100 health bar, the M44 will also just tap you chest and up, because reasons. I decided at this point to try to push up and kind of cover the flanks still, because that was the main way I was dying. Normally how I play this now is I try to play it back a little farther and let them walk out onto me, but we were playing up forward and it seemed to work out in this situation. Generally playing the flanks like that where I was would be very vulnerable to snipers. I was able to get away with it there because I had my shield up, but as soon as the shield went down I would need to move away. I haven't played against a whole lot of snipers at this point, at the time of this recording, so I'm making sure that this note is added in kind of after the fact. And now that you've seen the Gates of Heaven with me, it's also worth noting that flashbangs in this game, their duration depends on how close you are to them when they go off, and no matter how flash you are, any amount of flash will also slow your movement to an absolute crawl. So it's not just a flash, but also a stun grenade, kind of. It's basically a flash concussion combo. So just because you are blind doesn't mean you can easily navigate back to somewhere safe off of muscle memory. You're just going to be moving at fucking snail pace regardless. Also, 2 notes to put here, I don't get punished for either of these in this exact situation, but when somebody puts down a fresh shield and you don't have one, do not try to take the trade. You will not be able to DPS through the shield, even if you hit all headshots afterwards. It just takes too long to get through with a standard gun by yourself. If multiple people are shooting at the shield at once, maybe it's possible. An EMP nade would be the quickest way to do it, to throw the nade and then peek out. And then simultaneously, the second note is, if you see a scope in the distance, do not fucking look at it with an assault rifle. For the love of God, do not. You don't win that trade. I got away with it, they didn't shoot me, but boy, did I just not know at this point in my gameplay career how terrible of a fucking idea that was.
You know, maybe I just stopped walking up and let them get behind me.
Yeah.
And then just the farm rolled in.
It's one of those things where like, I don't wanna.
Yeah, right? It's like, I want
Eat your vegetables.
I want to go fight them. No, sit on point. Play the objective. I don't wanna.
Above my montage.
Yeah, right? Kaze, cloaked shotgun, big skill, super fucking high skill players.
So my plan, when we decide to push, is that I'm going to throw a shield on point to help us get on point and be able to push it farther. That way we can take the first engagement from safety. However, my 2 brain cells are still on cooldown from last round, so even though I just played this map from the other side, I throw my shield directly onto point now, shielding basically nothing when most positional holds are going to come from our left, which is actually where the point needs to go. It winds up working out with some small efficiency because someone does push up to the far right, which is very unusual, and I wind up finding some angles I can use it to kind of mitigate some damage, but had I dropped it right in front of me right now, it would be significantly better and basically guaranteed that we get this point pushed up to the cart almost immediately. And by cart, I mean truck. I'm just stupid and talk too fast. Having more than one person on point does not currently seem to make the point move any faster, so when I see that my teammates are on point, I push up a little bit and try to take a position to catch these guys as they push back to us. If I can take an aggressively defensive position, I can be ready when they try to push into us, and they wouldn't expect me because they would think the card is far back. I wind up not really getting into a fight before some people flank her on the side. I get a little lost in the sauce, and then I die for free.
There's a dude with the shield or hit me with the shield.
There's a dude with a shield. He was pushing up to the right. I didn't have...
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
So we are getting stuck in this choke, so I drop my shield directly onto point so I can try to get some working in the choke. The guy tries to push through my shield, decides against it, and I just whiff, so he does manage to get away with it. I have to reload, and therefore I can't trade into the other shield. I took a nade, which should work pretty well, but I just sling it way too far, so it doesn't work out. But once we clear one of them off, I push forward and try to grab somebody on the right corner that I thought was there. There is nobody there, but I wound up being a draw fire. That way, my teammate who was flanking around, that I totally planned for, and it wasn't just coincidence, happens to come up directly behind him as he's shooting at me. Otherwise, I would have died for free because there was no chance I was going to contest that fight. I decide to use the point for cover and try to push it up to the next checkpoint because we're almost there, but their team cooks a nade way better than I do, and when I open my door, it's actually a same-day shipping delivered passport straight back to the spawn room. While I'm walking back, though, I will say, I haven't seen a whole lot of enemy teams, even back then or now that I've played significantly more, use that top ladder exit to push out and get a surprise angle. I used it earlier in my defense, but I haven't seen anybody else do it in this game or even in the hundreds of games I've played since. But as I push in here, this team does make very good use of the subway stairs on this side to pick off some of our guys and harass from the side, which slows us down as I'm trying to nade them to make sure that they're actually gone from there. If they weren't, and we tried to push down here, we could just easily get pincered, so we actually would have to make an effort to clear that out if they decided to hold it. But in this situation, they did decide to back up. Thankfully, I saw this guy murder my teammate, so I was prepared for him in the corner. But as we push through this next choke point, I'm trying to hug the objective to make sure that it keeps moving, and there's a shield down as well as people on 3 different angles. I do wind up being able to push through here as Kaze flanks the far side, but in all actuality, this should not have worked. It should have been a play where we have to back off, take the fight, and then push past it, but we were able to just momentum our way through there, and without really talking, had the synergy to push both angles at the same time and make our way through. However, I'm an ape, and I don't keep track of how many bullets I have. I tried to go push up and grab ammo, but apparently I walked over somebody's ACR or something, and I actually just magically manifested more bullets. Had my brain cells not been on cooldown, though, I had all the tools I needed to not actually die there. I could have easily just thrown my shield down there before I was touching the dog, and that way I would have actually been able to push up and get the bullets. Also, knowing what I know now, just that I could have walked over somebody else's gun to pick up those bullets, it probably would have worked. I also could have just pressed F and swapped guns with him, but I really didn't think any of that through because I had one goal, and that was to pet the dog for some bullets.
I'm so flash. I love it.
Terrible singing and copyright aside, we did manage to make it past that choke, so I try to push up aggressively to section off these guys and make sure we send them back to spawn room so that we can get the most space we can unmolested. Ooh. I short circuit my brain hitting that shot, immediately fuck up my shield, but my general plan is to try to escort the package and pick them off any way that I can along the sides, and then once I see I have my ultimate, I figure I can run the home stretch home with that. We got a few pickoffs. We have a second shield come up to actually trade out this guy's shield, so it looks good for the push. I get super greedy with my shield here, finally realize that I can use it, throw it up, immediately catch a nade as it's going up, and get punished for my greed by wasting my ultimate without actually getting anything done. It's not a reliable way to counter that ult, but boy, if somebody's stupid enough to do what I did, it works real well. My brain is on cooldown, I'm now a little salty at myself for being stupid, so I do what I do best and absolutely whiff all my shots. But on the plus side, I did get my ACR leveled up, so now I can trade out the recon barrel for the extended magazine. That was just me testing it out. I would actually recommend trading the padded stock, keeping the recon barrel, and then running the quicker mag. Magazine is absolutely essential. The stock didn't seem to change a whole lot of how the gun worked for me, but the barrel is important because it is one of the earliest options you have for increasing your ADS speed, which is important when trying to do fast action shooters like this. But after all of this game, I'm completely flustered by how I fucking threw my ultimate and then missed those shots, so I'm just YOLOing up pretty much by myself, trying to push this point and just dying on repeat. This is absolutely one of the situations where you should try to organize with your team, even if you're not working with them, just wait for them to run in and run in alongside of them. Even though I didn't organize to run in with them, thankfully they ran in along with me, and they are able to push the point after I just YOLO and die like an idiot.
I feel like I don't have to do everything.
xDefiant's actually pretty fun, but I expect it'll be a lot less fun when I start queuing into controller players because of the aim assist. We'll have to see how that works out, and if I want to keep doing stuff after that.
Up and down.
Like I said though, this is my first attempt at a commentary on a game of this nature, so future videos, even the very next one, could look drastically different from this one in how they actually are laid out. So, as always, let me know what you do like, let me know what you don't like, let me know what you think, so I can improve my videos moving forwards. Thank you guys for your continued support, and I'll see you next time.